Hi guys, what we're going to talk about today is how you can differentiate between a linear function and an exponential function. We're going to talk about situations and tables, and hopefully you know the difference between a straight line and a curved line. We're going to first just take a look at their equations. So a linear equation is y equals mx plus b, and we've seen that plenty of times. And it's a fixed number or a constant rate. So it's always talking about adding or subtracting. And an exponential function has an x for the exponent because it's changing exponentially. So if that number, that's the rate, which is our b value, if b is less than 1, it's decreasing, and if b is greater than 1, it's increasing. Some of the language, like it says doubling or halving, that all indicates multiplication. That's how we know it's an exponential function. Okay, so if I take a look at the first situation, it says a gym customer must pay $50 for a membership plus $3 each time they use the gym. So $50 is my starting value, my B value, and $3 every time I use the gym. So that tells me it's increasing by 3, right? Because this is a plus 3. So my equation is going to say 3x plus 50, and we know that that's linear. Okay. Number 2. 20,000 owls in the wild. Every decade, the number of owls is halved. So that tells me that this is 20,000. That's where we started. And every decade, it's cut in half. So that's 10,000. And then it's 5,000. So the rate is, this is being multiplied by a half. So this is exponential. So it's going to say 20,000 is my A times 1/2 to the x. Okay. A library has 8,000 books and is adding 500 more books each year. So 8,000 is how many we start with, and we're adding 500 each year. Okay, so clearly this is going up by adding. It says it right in the question, so that's linear. So it's going to say 500x plus 8,000. Okay. The start of a carnival, you have 50 tickets. Each time you ride the roller coaster, you pay 6. So we start with 50, and if we pay 6, that leaves me with 44. And then if you pay 6 more, that's going to leave you with 38. So this is decreasing by 6, which means it's linear because it's subtracting. So it's negative 6x plus 50 because every time we give away 6 tickets. Okay, bank account starts with $10. So it starts with 10. Every month, the money in the account is tripled. So that means we're multiplying it by 3. So then the next month there will be 30, and then there will be 90. So because we're multiplying, this is exponential. So 10 is the value I started with. 3 is my rate to the x. Okay, last one for the situations. As a reward, you ask for $1 for the first day, 1. And then it's doubled each day. So if I double that, that's 2, and then this is 4. So this is multiplying by 2, doubling, right? So this is exponential, and we started with $1, and our rate is double to the x. Okay, so this is the first page of the notes, just being able to identify a situation and write an equation. Oh, okay. So let's take a look at the next page. Now we actually have to talk about a table and whether or not the table is linear or exponential. So if you can see I already labeled the x-axis on all of them as +1. So we're going to take a look at the y values. In this case, my y values are decreasing by 4 here. So I can tell that this is linear. So it's negative 4x. And then whoever's with my 0 is my b, so +12. Okay, and then when I look at the next one, number 2, it goes from 10 to 5 to 2.5. So this is actually multiplying by a half. It's cutting it in half, so that's exponential. So my initial value was 10, so it's 10 times 1/2 to the x. All right, let's take a look at the next 3. All right, so the next one, it's adding 3 on my y value. So that's definitely linear. So that's 3x, and my 0 term is 2. Okay, the next one, you can definitely tell it's multiplying. If you're having trouble figuring out what, you can take the first 2 terms. You take the second term, which is 0.6, and divide it by the first one, and that's going to give you 1.5, or you could write it as 3/2. So that's what it's multiplying by. That's exponential. So my 0 value is that 0.4 times 3/2, or you can write 1.5 to the x. Okay, and then the last one, you can tell it's multiplying by 2. So this is exponential. It starts with 3, so it's 3 times 2 to the x. Okay, so I want you to take what we just talked about and use it to do the practice in ThinkTech. Good luck.